Hi folks, hope you're doing well. Just thought I'd take a moment to show you one of the ways that we have found in town to start our growing season a little early because winters come fast where we're at. We're not quite as high as our homestead, but down here we do have a shorter growing season even than some areas that are warmer in general. So my wife had a great idea. We put these windows in case of fire a couple of years ago. Kind of upgraded the house. The house was built in '49, and so she had a good idea of getting these plastic coverings. One to keep the rain out, but also she can start our vegetables in February. Because it stays warmer here and the heat off the house and the sun coming through the plastic makes a little greenhouse. And we've got three of these around the house. And so when they're just seedlings and you're putting them into the little plastic containers, you can actually start a huge garden just in this tiny little space. And you can see that our garden area, all of the most of what we have here that we started came right out of those little mini greenhouses. So what we're going to do up on the homestead is we've got that shipping container and we're going to put grow lights in here. But the nice thing is with this system, I don't use any electricity or anything with these little greenhouses. The other thing is I've got up at the homestead, I've got an old truck shell that I'm going to put on cinder blocks and use that kind of the same way that I'm using these little covers, and that will kind of be a little greenhouse as well up there. So we're just going to try to produce as much food as we can. Hopefully things will get better, but things are pretty unstable right now. So the more you can do for yourself, the better, and maybe you can help a neighbor out at the same time. Because I think if we pull together, that's the best way to survive. You can see, so these are some of the plants that were started there in those little covered areas, and you can see we've got we've got produce, so it makes a huge difference in the end on how much you can grow. So come down here, here's our tomatoes. They were started down there as well. We'll start getting some produce off of those as well. It's a little early yet, but we've been regularly pulling broccoli out too and having steamed broccoli, which is good for you anyway. So yeah, there's a little trick, just find spaces where you can grow food. If you're in a large city, maybe you're in more of an apartment setting. Of course, the disadvantage, of course, is that you don't have a yard, but the advantage that you have is that that's a temperature-controlled area year-round. And you can grow a lot of food using hydroponics. That's something I'm interested in as well, where you use less soil, more water. It's a different kind of system. And you could do that in your apartment with little to no space. So just find ways to creatively grow food. Even if you grow more than you can eat yourself, that's always something that you can then use for trade if you need to barter, if it comes to that. So having food and resources is never a bad thing. One, it shows goodwill towards your neighbors, and two, it's barter, and also simply you can can it and eat it and store it for later. So go ahead and show you how the fruit trees are doing here. So there we go, producing. Our pears are doing very well. You can probably see those. So anyhow, take care, my friends, and wish you the best of luck. Stay safe.